Greetings everyone! This is a bit of a different video because I wanted to bring more of a tutorial rather than a grinding VOD. This is the first one that I'm trying to make, so please bear with me for a little because I'm not very experienced at this. Before we start, I'd like to thank you all for the support. Yay, I know that you're watching me grind for over an hour, sometimes might not be so fun, but I appreciate that my videos are being helpful to you all. As you might have noticed, I haven't posted a video in almost 1 month. That is because I've spent the last month grinding orcs basically entirely. I've tested all the spots, I have tested add-ons, I have tested many different things, and as I've mentioned in my long videos, I was a little bit frustrated with the way Dark Knight's PvE is kind of like unfolding at higher end spots. The fact that we don't have filler damage is a bit, you know, underwhelming, and overall it's like, even though it's in a decent spot, it's not the best. And I think that when the difference between what you make and what another class makes sums up to like 3 or 4 billion per month just based on class choice, it's kind of frustrating. But, you know, if you put that aside, it's still pretty fun, still enjoy it. So, let's roll with it. So, Orc Camp, I think there are a lot of videos about it. Not the best spot to grind as an Awakening Dark Knight. If you could grind Bloody Monastery over orcs, do grind Bloody Monastery over orcs, because it's better, it's easier, it's more chill. You're going probably to have a better time and more profit from it. However, if you need the shards, or if you just really like the spot and you really like DK, then why not, right? The entry for this spot is 269 AP with 341 DP. Less than that, it would be a little bit dangerous. You are probably going to die, and I don't want you guys dying, so maybe not. But I would safely say that grinding gets comfortable around 281 AP, 350-ish DP. It's where you like have enough DP to survive in case you get CC'd by orcs, or in case you accidentally take a skill from the wizard. With that said, there are some rotations that are better for DK, and there are some that are not, so I'm just going to go over and share with you the ones that I really liked and the ones that were not so comfortable for me. Before we actually hit Orc Camp, I want you guys to calculate your hit rate on garmoth.com. This helps you understand how much accuracy you need in order to hit a mob, and it's very useful if you are going to grind in more advanced spots, for example Along Valley and Ash Forest, which requires a little bit more of accuracy than your regular Hystria Stars and Secria trio. This is my base value accuracy without any buffs, and this is my accuracy rate from my passives. This accuracy percentage on skill, I'd set it up to 3% because that's the average. I think that's the lowest accuracy modifier that we have on our skills. So that's just, you know, how much we are going to be hitting the mobs. Calculate according to your values. If you don't know, this is an option on your on your gear. Just press I and check my stats, and you're going to have the numbers. Just put the numbers here, the percentage here, and 3 here for the accuracy on skills. All right. Now, the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to check our addons. If you are a purely PvE player and you have no intentions of doing PvPs and you don't want to go with duels for spots or anything, just, you know, set up a straight PvE, full PvE add-on list. That's okay. So if you are purely a PvE player, then there's no reason to set up your addons in a mixed place, because if you don't PvP, then why would you have a setup of PvP addons? Like, if the maximum PvP you're doing is duo for spots, then it's not the addons that are going to make you win or lose a situation. You can just swap servers, I don't know. But in PvE, having the right addons can increase your trash by a lot. So based on that, I'm assuming that you already know your kit and you know the basics of what you're doing and you are ready to go. So with that, we are going to make an addon that is specifically for orcs. Ideally, you are going to have a set of specific addons for a specific spots that suits your need, but you can also go with a baseline, like there are no strict rules. So what I do for orcs is that this is based on my gear, guys. So if you like take more damage, then maybe take some HP addons. They're shitty, but at least it's an extra. So I'm now going to start with this skill cluster because it's one of the best PvE addon skills that we have. I'm going to start with the basic monster damage plus 30 for 7 seconds, and then in the second place you can either vary between attack speed or defense debuff. This one, defense reduction. I will pick attack speed because I find it more useful to have attack speed rather than having the DP debuff. I'm going to leave the DP debuff for Spirit Legacy because it's going to do like a well-rounded combo, because Legacy already have a DP debuff and it also stacks with this one, so it's pretty good. I'm also going to add critical damage to Spirit Legacy, so the rest of my combo is going to have a plus attack to mobs, minus DP from Legacy and from the addons, and a 3% critical buff. So that's pretty good. We want that. We want more damage. You kind of need it. Okay, so the rest of the addons you are going to customize according to what you need. I also use Perversive sometimes, because Perversive from Pre-Awakening, I know that Pre-Awakening damage is pretty bad, but this skill in particular has another DP debuff, so whenever Legacy is on cooldown, this one is another good choice. So I'm just going to place the same addons that I did on Spirit Legacy on this one as well. So we are going to have here defense debuff and a critical damage. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's the setup for our pre-buff debuff stage of our combo. So now I'm going to have Trap of Vidir with a little bit of extras. Sometimes I like to think that DP does something to DK, so I'm just going to put this one here so I don't die if I have lower DP. I have pretty enough DP for not to die at orcs, so I don't really need to take it. But if you do feel like you're being squishy, then take this one here. I also enjoy having back attack damage. This one is like, because I use this to go to the back of the mobs, so I can have this 5% attack damage here, back attack damage. I can also replace this for critical attack, doesn't matter. So the other two skills that I would recommend you having addons on are Shatter and Seed. It's kind of going to depend on which one you use first, but I'd recommend taking here another attack speed and another monster damage, just to make sure that in case you forget to spam cluster, because sometimes we all forget to spam, we have another one as oh sorry, I got crit chance here, so it's monster damage and attack speed. Sorry. And we have another option, even if it's less powerful, just to make sure that we have the continuous combo going on. Another addon that you might want to take instead of maybe taking Sid would be taking Spirit Blaze, because it's a spammable addon. So in case you forget to cluster, or maybe you have Spirit Blaze available and you want to use the bond, it's a pretty good bond for PvE. You want to have that, maybe you want to have some extra defense or some critical damage. So the the summary of it, the gist of the situation is, you always want to have your speed attack up, you always want to have your defense reduction up, you always want to have your monster attack up. The rest is pretty much according to what you need. If you need DP, put more DP addons. If you need more life, put more HP steal addons. If you don't need anything, then make sure that your addons are going to keep yourself with attack speed buff, DP debuffs, and monster buffs all the time. And that's pretty much it for addons for orcs. Now let's go over rotations. Okay, so this is the first rotation that I wanted to show you guys. There is someone grinding here already, so I don't want to take much of his spot. I don't want to think that I'm going to be KHing or something. This rotation is very good for someone who is under geared. So this is an entry level rotation. Let me show you. It's just outside the bridge here near Hadel. So it is very, very small, as you can see. You're going to kill this and this prison here, and then this prison here, and then this prison here. The lights are going to come up. You are going to kill, the mobs are going to be all over the place here. And if you need to extend, you're always going to use these places here over the river. So you have these 2 packs of mobs, 3 packs of mobs here that you are going to use in order to extend the rotation. This is a very small rotation for someone who is a bit higher on gear, so I'd only recommend coming here if you're 269. Because else you're going, if you get a weapon, you are probably going to break the rotation, and you don't really want that. It's a pretty straightforward rotation. The packs are very close to each other, so it's really easy to grind, but it's also easy to die, so please bear that in mind when coming here. This here is another rotation that is quite popular with some Dark Knights. I don't know why people like this rotation. Personally, I don't like it very much. It's a very small rotation just by the side of the node manager at neutral south zone. So the thing is that it's still very good for people with lower AP. The prisons are very close to each other, so you have one here, another one here, one here, one here, and another one here, and you can rotate pretty easily with lower AP. If you need an extension from when you get a weapon, you can do that by coming here. So all the side is an extension to that rotation. Even like this, unlike the first one, this one, if you have a higher AP, it's still grindable. It's just not very good, because the trees kind of get in the way a lot when you're placing skills, and you know, it's just not very comfortable overall. But still pretty grindable, and nobody's going to, you know, get in your way, because nobody likes this rotation. So it's pretty chill if you want to have a safer time. Oh gosh. We have similar tastes in Pegasus. That's so cute. Okay, so this one, it is like medium in terms of trash per hour. I just really like that it's in a good spot. The mobs are somewhat close in between them, so you have the prisons here just inside the little things that I forgot the name. You have some packs here, and then you're going to rotate either counterclockwise or clockwise, it doesn't matter. And then once you finish inside the fences, you are going to come up here and clean this pack here, this pack there, this pack here, and the other pack here, and go back inside the fence. It's pretty straightforward. If you need weapon extensions and you see that you are over clearing, you have the side here that nobody picks, so you can do that. Maybe if there is no one grinding in here, you can get this part of the rotation as well. So it's really up to you what you're going to do. So the next one is for people with a little bit of higher gear. So this rotation here, it's just outside the bridge. I really like this one for no reason in particular other than I really like the spot. So you're going to place this from here, and then you're going to come here, and then clean this back here, and then clean here, and then here, and then here and here. So the lights are, when the lights are off, they get here. So you're going to clean here. If you have a weapon, extend there. If not, just ignore. Come here, trash this, and this little guy's here. So with weapon in here, you are going to extend there in that place, and you're also going to come here. So sometimes there might be people who are grinding this rotation, because this is not exactly a rotation, it's more like a spot extension, but that's okay. If there's no one in there, just use this place here to extend. If there are people here, just use the outsides. It should be pretty doable, should be pretty easy. Okay, so this one here is my absolutely favorite rotation for when I'm grinding orcs, simply because it is big, it is spacious, the mobs are somewhat close, there's plenty of space for you to move around, and the extensions are pretty nice. So you are going to start with the prisons here and inside the pack. So we have the prison here and there and there and there and there, and then you're going to move up to here, rope them here, kill, there are a couple of mobs here, then you're going to come here and clean the outskirts until you reach the end of the rotation. So here you get to this, and then back here, and then back inside. Now once you have a weapon, you have two choices on this rotation. The first one is the proper one, the one that you should ideally be doing, is that once you kill these mobs here, you are going to go inside the fortress and kill everything that's in here, and then come back. If there is someone who's grinding at the forts, because sometimes it might happen, what you're going to do is that you are going to come, instead of going that side, you are going to come this side and kill everything that's in here, and then come back. You get 2 extra violence for that, and then come back here and restart. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is my favorite spot because it has a lot of diversity. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit contested. There's a lot of people in here. So, but that's life. Yeah. So we're now looking at some combos so we can get, the best out of orcs. It's better to start with your Q block to get the 12 DP buff. Then you're going to unveil dagger, perversive, and then you can either use C swap to swap to awakening, or you can use shift RBM to swap to awakening. So it's up to you. Sometimes I'd rather use C-swap because it doesn't consume stamina. Sometimes when I'm more feeling like my stamina is full, I use shift RBM. So then we are actually going to start our combo. So once I use C-swap, I can dash to the side and oops. So once I use C-swap, I can dash to the side and use cluster with a cancel, or if I use some shift LBM, I'm going to use cluster just right after it. So like this. Okay, so once we have all that done, so again, we have the Q block, you have the thing, dun, dun, dun. We are going for legacy, and from here on, it kind of depends on whatever you have on cooldown. So if you like to use shatter, use shatter. If you like to use seed, use seed. And if you like to trap to the back of the mobs, then trap to the back of the mobs. And whatever you have available, just use for it, because there's no much of a combo. What I'd recommend doing is going either seed in the flow, and then nebula, and then seed. And if the mobs are not dead, then just spirit blaze with the flow. They should be dead if the lights are on. If they are not dying, by the time you finish this, doing these things, your cooldowns of awakening are still not going to be up. So what you are going to be doing is that you're going to swap back to pre-awakening with will, then you are going to start again. So F space, and then you can just tag the mobs. Like, the space, the perversive thing is not necessary to do on all mobs, because you also have legacy. However, if you're coming from P Awakening and you're running out of cooldowns, then it's better to use this instead of using the other one. Okay. As for Nebula, you're going to see in some of my videos I am canceling Nebula, and I do this out of habit because it's just easier. But it's better to use the entire animation of Nebula if you can. If you can't and you're going to cancel it, fine. I mean, it's not going to, you know, drag you down so much, but it's better to use rather the full animation instead of the cancelled one. Now, as for profit, how much trash should I expect at Orcs? How much trash should I expect at this spot? With a yellow loot scroll, if I get no weapon, I'm getting around 9,000 to 11,000 trash per hour if I'm really lucky. If you get a weapon, you can go up to 13,000 an hour, which is pretty good. Like, it's not the best average, but you can still make money, you know. It's not broken or anything, but you know it is what it is. So I hope that this guide somehow has helped you guys to grind orcs. I know it's not a VOD. I don't know if I will be posting a VOD anytime soon or not, because I'm pretty busy with life and I haven't found a single recording that I liked so far. On the top of that, I haven't been grinding much, but you know, maybe. So my next plan now is I am actually planning to do a guide on Awakening Dark Knight PvE, like a very extreme guide. Right now, if you're looking for, you know, a bit of assistance with combos and skills, you can always ask people at the Discord, or there is an Awakening guide by Not the Worst. That is, it's okay, it's an okay guide you can follow. It's pretty accurate to some stuff, and you're going to have pretty good results with that. Okay, so thank you so much. If you can please subscribe, or I don't know, give suggestions. I'm a bit nervous because this is like one of the first times that I'm actually doing a voiceover tutorial. But anyway, that's it guys. Thank you. Bye bye.